Well, a very action-packed Australian Guineas day has come and gone from Flemington in a day where it ended up to be a favourites day. A few good favourites got up like Bold Bastille, Aramco, Sons Dude, Aaron Bay, Atishu, Another Wil. Those favourites got up, so it was a kind day to the punters. In terms of the action that unfolded, Southport Tycoon much too good in the Australian Guineas, and it wasn't just a marginal win, it won by over a length, indicating it's a really, really good 3-year-old, especially getting out to a trip like this. The other highlights on the card, Another Wil has gone to another level again, as well, it was probably expected to, judging off the price. Atishu won its way into the All-Star Mile today by winning the Blamey Stakes. We're going to take a look at that. And Estriella wins the $500,000 English Sprint by 2 or so lengths, I'm pretty sure. So in terms of how the race is ranked, Aaron Bay's race, the last race, actually ranked as number 1. Aaron Bay carried a fair bit of weight and won in a pretty quick time compared to standard time, so it goes number 1. Southport Tycoon close up. Another Wil, I think, was 4th, and who was 3rd? I can't even remember, but Another Wil was 4th, maybe not living up to the 4.5 length hype that is made out to be, that it's a really good horse, but it's still a really, really exciting horse. So I'm just waffling now. Let's get on to some of the replays. The Howden Australian Guineas won by Southport Tycoon is the first replay we're going to take a look at. And as they jump out of the gates, all eyes, well, for me at least, were on Riff Rocket. He jumps out okay, and then he looks to stumble a bit, or someone cuts him off, or a horse checks him. So I'm not too sure what happened there. I need to see the steward's vision on that. But he recovers himself to a decent position midfield, but by recovering his position by that much, he has to go back to the inside, which caused a few problems. But at the other end of affairs up the front, the Pendragon, the Kiwi, sped across to the lead. Hey Fat Cat on the 4-week backup. Not 4-week backup. Well, 4 weeks in a row it's backed up. Was fast into stride, settled on its outside. One of the key horses in the race, V8, got a good spot just in behind the speed, and the eventual winner tracked the eventual second place getter. I'm talking about Southport Tycoon tracking V8 in the Bennett Racing Silks just behind there. I thought Snow Patrol had a good run, and I thought it would figure in the finish, but not to be. King Colorado ended up getting too far back, and those were all the main chances in the race that we had to look out for. So as they straightened up with 500 metres to go, V8 is the one that you think at the moment, it's probably going to win. It's pulling out 3 deep. It's better than Hey Fat Cat and the Pendragon. It's going to go straight past him. Then Southport Tycoon gets off his back, and Jamie Carr hasn't really gone for it yet. And you look back in behind them, Riff Rocket isn't running on with as much zest as he did last start. Snow Patrol's just going up and down. So it's out of the two, V8 and Southport Tycoon, but V8 being that small query at 1,600 metres, and Southport Tycoon surges away to win the Australian Guineas. Another Wil took another step in the right direction with this run, and I was actually watching playoffs, and I thought, Another Wil's jumped poorly, he's back in the field, but he had the black cap, and he sprung into stride reasonably well, and Jamie Carr just took it straight out of trouble, went straight to the front, well, second on the outside of the front runner Piaggio, and they've run the first portion of the race pretty hard because the horses inside of Piaggio and Another Wil obviously want to keep the $1.50 favourite working. They want its energy to deplete pretty quickly. But Another Wil, being the class that he is, that didn't happen. Magnus Spin, I'm pretty sure, was the second favourite, got a decent spot behind Piaggio, a soft run, and kept the favourite working. So I thought that horse would probably give it a test. The horse that finished second, Fist of Fury, has the back of Another Wil, similar to last replay we looked at. Southport Tycoon had the back of V8, and those were the eventual Quinella in the race. So same happened here. Another Wil, and at Fist of Fury was tracking Another Wil. CR7 was tracking Fist of Fury, and it actually presented to be a decent chance, but Another Wil, Carr's still cruising here, got plenty of horse underneath her, and then when she finally lets him go, he sprints clear, and you'll see he sprints clear 2 lengths, 3 lengths, 4 lengths, effortless. Now this was a typical benchmark 84 field, so there were no stars in this, but the way Another Wil did it was still very, very good. Will he get a ticket into the All-Star Mile? We'll have to wait and see. Atishu won her way into the All-Star Mile by winning the Group 2 Blamey Stakes over the 1,600 metres. And, well, when they jump, as they jump, you'll see the winner Atishu jumps really, really well, which is unlike her. She's usually settling back in the field, and because she's jumped so well, Blake Shin's gone, well, I'm not going to jag it back and be no chance. I'm going to ride it forward. And the risky takes means you might be trapped wide without cover. Now, the good thing that happens here is, for Atishu's sake, is that Carini also tries to push forward, and it's kept working, so that's one of the main dangers, probably out of the race because of the work it's had to do. Barclay Square actually kicks up to be just behind Holy Man's, so Atishu's kept 3 wide, but then for some reason the jockey of Barclay Square drops back for Atishu to get in with cover, probably due to the increase in the tempo with Carini putting the pressure on a rail or a rale, or however you want to pronounce the 150 to 1 shot. Ayrton is the horse you got to watch in the straight because he should have won by 2 or so lengths plus. He was unlucky. Jamie Carr couldn't have done much more. There was just nowhere to go. Got a good run from gate 1, and well, I underestimated it because I thought it couldn't run 1600, but past the post, it was a length or so clear of Atishu. So as they straighten for home, Atishu, Blake Shin has now pulled it out 4 wide, and it's going after the leaders. Matt Crum I thought would be really strong, but maybe first up, having to do so much work to catch up to Jimmy Star, left it a bit flat. Miramasa I thought was too far back. Atishu's now hit the front, and looks like it's surging away. It always had Holy Man's covered at this stage, and Ayrton just trucking, finally gets out, and you can see when the camera pans how far it's already past Atishu there. So Ayrton should be into the All-Star Mile, but Atishu is instead. We'll finish off by looking at the English Sprint, won by Estriella. Big field, 19 horses. Don't see that too often anymore. But as they jumped out, my pick and the second favourite in the end, Caballas, jumped pretty decently and went into the grandstand side group. But the horse that jumped the best was the winner, Estriella. And it led for Blake Shin, which is something I don't know if it usually does. I can't really remember its Sydney form, but definitely when it ran first up in the Kevin Hayes, it was off midfield and it really surged up towards the line to pick them up late and score by 2 lengths in the Kevin Hayes on CF4 day. But it faced a new task here. It led up the straight and it just proved too good. It's a race where I think the first 3 home are really good and they're a class above the rest. I speak of Estriella, Caballas, who ran really well, and also Robrick in the all yellow with the yellow blinkers back towards the inside. Watch it surge through. Another 50 metres and it almost wins. But Estriella, just being the classy filly that she is, just keeps surging away. Caballas can't pick it up. Robrick is really knuckling down to the task late and will be better suited over further in time. Thank you everyone for watching my Australian Guineas Day review. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.